Hello, and thank you for your interest in submitting an application for the Joint Educational Project. As you can see here, the application is pretty straightforward, but there are a few things that are different from our work in previous semesters. This semester, JEP will be entirely online. We are still sorting out a few details regarding most assignments. However, we will pass along those details as soon as we get them. Some things do remain the same as previous semesters, such as 2 hours of service per week and those weekly assignments that you will need to submit. The deadline to submit an application is Friday, August 28th at 11:59 p.m. We encourage you to submit your application before this date. Now we're going to move on to step 1 of the application. You'll notice that half of these fields are already filled out because you logged in with your USCnet ID. Please fill in the rest of the blanks here, taking particular note of formatting such as numbers only for your cell phone number and the order of numbers for your date of birth. At the bottom, you'll see a field that says your personal USC Zoom room/link. To get those numbers, just open up the Zoom application, click on Meetings at the top, and a 10-digit number should appear that is your personal meeting ID. Now let's move on to step 2, additional information. The demographic information collected here is used purely for JEP's internal research to see what types of students are doing JEP during the semesters. As for the questions down here about having a bicycle or a car, those are questions that were relevant in previous semesters and will not be relevant this semester since we are doing everything online. Step 3 is where things get a little tricky. Here, it's pretty straightforward. You just say whether you are signing up for JEP through a class or not. Please note that if you are doing JEP through JEP South, that is considered a class even though it's not formally a class, so you would put yes. Step 4 is where you select your assignment. If you put that you are doing JEP for a class, then you're going to select your class and your professor from this list. If you do not see your class or professor listed here, please reach out to a JEP program assistant. So here we have an AMST course. Notice that there are various assignment options listed down here. However, you will only be selecting 2 of them. The number of assignment options depends on the course and the professor. In this case, we'll be checking off both checkboxes for both assignment options. And then you'll have the opportunity to rank these assignments. So here you'll still see the description, the volunteer hours, and the training information. And on the right, you'll see assignment preference. So if you would prefer one over the other, you can just select which ranking you have for that assignment. And right here, we're going right back through that process, instead picking a class like psychology that only has individual assignment options. Please note that while here it says mentor, tutor, or teaching assistant, our individual volunteer options may look a little bit different this semester, but as always, we will keep you updated on those changes. There is also a field down here. Let us know if you have any special requests. That is on the off chance that maybe the classroom that you were working with in a previous semester is also doing JEP this semester, but we cannot guarantee placement in any of these cases. Alrighty, so once you have completely filled out steps 1 through 4, you can scroll to the bottom and click on Save and Go to Next, and step 5 will appear. This step is really important because you'll be indicating your availability for the fall semester. Like it says here on the top, there are a few guidelines to indicating your availability, so you must have at least 4 hours total, and they must be in 1 hour minimum blocks of time. These gray blocks here indicate the times that you are able to log in to volunteer. So for example, at a school, the school is only in session from about 8:30 to 2:30, so those are the times that you can go in and volunteer. The more availability that you put on here, the higher likelihood that you will be placed and given a volunteer assignment for the semester. So although you only need 4 hours, we really encourage you to put as much availability as you have for the semester. Please also note that these times are in PST. Once you have filled this out for one of your volunteer assignments, if you scroll down, you'll be able to indicate availability for your second choice assignment. That is assuming that your course offers more than one option. So please make sure to indicate as much availability as possible on both of these. Again, you do require 4 hours minimum for each one. If you try to continue without putting in 4 hours, you will get an error and you will not be able to submit your application. So please do read that very carefully and fill it out appropriately. Once you've filled out that fifth step, you'll be able to select a training time here in step 6. I know that on the screen right here it says TBA, but when you log in, you will have an option of 4 training times that are held by your assigned program assistant, as well as a fifth option in case one of those 4 do not work for you. Please do try to sign up for one of the training times if at all possible, but if you do have class conflicts, totally understandable, just click that I cannot attend training times and your PA will reach out with further information. And that's it. You click on submit right there and you are good to go. Now let's say you're taking multiple classes that offer JEP. If that's the case, submit your first application and then click on the list of submissions to add a new assignment. Notice that the deadline to submit a new application is Friday the 28th, whereas the deadline to update your schedule on an existing application is Monday the 31st. If you'd like to add a new assignment, you just click that button right there and you will restart the application with steps 1 and 2 already filled out. So in this case, we're going to be going through the application as if you are not doing JEP for a class and you're just volunteering with us. For step 3 under sign up, you would indicate that you are not doing this for a class, and then for step 4, you'll be able to scroll through all of our volunteer options. Again, there is a maximum of 2, so pick your top 2 as you scroll through and read the descriptions, check off those boxes, select assignment preferences, and you'll go through the same procedure that we just went through. You'll still have the option of ranking everything and of putting in your schedule. The only difference is that this is not through a class, so you won't have a professor to report to or anything like that. Please do note that for the availability of some of our community-based organizations, it may be later in the evening, earlier in the morning, or in some cases even on weekends. So do be sure to check the timing of those gray boxes because those are the times that are available for you to volunteer, and therefore those are the times during which you should have availability in order to do your assignment. At any point, if you would like to edit or drop one of your JEP assignments, you would just go back to this page and click on the appropriate button. I hope this video was helpful in you filling out your application, but if you have any further questions or concerns, please visit this Zoom room here and a JEP program assistant will be able to help you. Thank you and fight on!